So, Spyro 3, my favourite, apart from the original. Out of all the Spyro games, because there is more than 3, there's more than this trilogy. Spyro 1 is my favourite, then Spyro Year of the Dragon. Then probably Spyro Hero's Tale, and then Ripto's Rage. Just because it was the last one that I played. So you guys are in for a treat. There's a bunch of different playable characters in this one. There's FPS minigames where you literally play as a monkey with a ray gun. There's Sparks levels, which are like a top-down shooter. There's a whole bunch of different stuff to do. There's skateboarding in this game, which is like Tony Hawk. There's a whole, but like the Year of the Dragon, in my opinion, is like Ripto's Rage, but all the minigames are like elevated. They're like their own games. So I am very looking forward to playing this. I will say, the story in number 3, not the best. The gameplay, though, and the visuals, I'm a big fan. I'm also getting very comfy here. And also, like, the first game was all about the crystal dragons. The second one was all about the orbs and the talismans. This one, it's dragon eggs. And every time you find a dragon egg, you will spawn a dragon child with a different name, and it will do a little dance, and then it'll leave. And every child has a different dance. But I'll not tell you about the story, because we're going to play it together, obviously. It will unfold.
Get her! Stop her!
God damn it. It's a very in-depth mod and adds 2 new Dwarven quests. I've never played... Well, I played modded Skyrim on the console, but never properly on PC.
We managed to capture the eggs, Your Highness. Every last one.
Excellent. Maybe you will amount to something after all. Now go guard the tunnels. Stop anyone from coming through.
I'm not quite sure lore-wise what the main villain is supposed to be. I don't know whether she's supposed to be a dragon or a dinosaur. His personality actually changes depending on what you do. Well, keep it in your minds, Hypnos, and we might add it to the mod list.
Where are the eggs?
The holes came out on the other side of the dragon world. We found some of the eggs, but they were too heavy to carry back.
The other side of the world?
The Forgotten Realms. Spyro, you'll have to go. Nobody else can fit down the holes.
Yeah, come on, let's go!
Find the eggs and bring them back, Spyro. You're our only chance.
You got it!
So, I think we keep all of our abilities from number 2. Yeah, we can still, like, headbutt. Obviously, flame, charge. I think we can swim right out the gate as well. Oh, the music. Oh. If I shut my eyes, I'm teleported back to being a child. I love Spyro Year of the Dragon so much. God, I love Spyro music. And if any of you are wondering what the little dragon babies look like when I said they all do a dance, this one's Isabel. Not much of a dance, but she did fall on her face. So I did also say that there are more in-depth minigames and other playable characters in this as well. I do feel like Hypnos is kind of going to be offended because the first playable character we find is Sheila the kangaroo.
Sad. Look here, dragon. If you know what's good for you, you'll turn around and crawl back into that hole you came through.
Those eggs belong to us now,
and I've hidden them in places you'll never find in 1,000 years.
Very stereotypical Australian. Just brief yourself.
Armies would hunt you down and take them back.
I mean, I think it was a lot worse in the PS1 version because it was very Australian. Also, I have just realized, but don't read too much into this. Moneybags is supposed to be British, right? And he's got the Australian in a cage. I have only just put that together 20 odd years after it came out. Isn't that overly fake Aussie accent? Does she speak here?
The sorceress has asked me to go.
300 gems. Okay, we can't quite get her out yet. But you can kind of see her. She's got, like, the Steve Irwin shirt on. She is called Sheila. She is a kangaroo, and she does have a very thick Australian accent. I don't know if it is offensive, but I guess we'll find out together, I guess. We can do the first level, Sunny Villa. These levels I will be pretty confident in knowing what to do. Because again, this is the one I think out of all three that I have played the most. That is the most stereotypical thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, a kangaroo wearing a Steve Irwin shirt with an Australian accent called Sheila. Probably everything that's stereotypically Australian I just said in a sentence, I think. Also, this level I think has a skateboarding level in it, so we will see that as well. This one, if I'm ever going to cry at a Spyro game as well, this one will be the one. Because every single bit of music in this game is like my childhood in an MP3 format. So there's a minigame up through there, which I believe is a Sheila one. Kangaroo wearing bush clothes with an overly done accent in prison, being held captive by a British dude. Yeah, and she's called Sheila. Pretty bad. It is pretty bad.
He's too big to...
Yeah, I just played the 2 games. I know how to flame enemies. Let me do my thing, Zoe. Yeah, the Sergeant Bird, Agent Zero. So Sergeant Bird is like a penguin with a jetpack. And then there's Agent Zero, which is the FPS, like, monkey with a ray gun that you walk around in. Then you can play as Sparks, which is a top-down FPS. Well, not FPS, I guess. If it's a top-down. Top-down shooter. What else am I missing here? There are Yeti levels, I think. But I can never remember the name of the Yeti. And I feel like I'm missing another one, but I can't remember. I mean, I did preface. It is quite bad. It's a pretty bad one. It's about as stereotypical as it gets. But again, I would put my bets on the fact that the reignited version is a lot less stereotypical than whatever it was in the year 2000 when this came out. I'm assuming it was probably even worse, and the Australian accent was even thicker.
Hi, Spyro.
So, one thing to look out for this particular game is that the minigames aren't just like in the world as they were before. They are more in-depth than 2, but because of that... Oh, I can't really show you because we haven't freed Sheila yet. But basically the minigames are cut off by like galaxy doors. Or like portals or stuff. In the PS1 version it just used to be like a black door with stars in it, but I don't know if it got changed for the reignited version or not. It's like if the movie The Rescuers Down Under was condensed into a character. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's a pretty good way of describing it. Also, I do think there's a skill point to flame all of these trees. That's why I'm doing it. It's a skill point, so it doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice to get it. Okay, that was weird. I think I was supposed to talk to him when he was getting chased. Yeah, in this one, dragon eggs are pretty much the only thing you need to collect in this one. So you'll see there's a lot more... Usually in, like, number 2, there would just be, like, 2 orbs and then the gems, but there's a lot more eggs because all of the... Pretty much everything gives an egg. You finish the level, you get an egg. You do a minigame, you get an egg. Oh yeah, they have kind of changed it. They put like a purple swirl in the middle. There you go, a skill point as well. So I will brief you on this, right? This does not control the best. This is a Tony Hawk thing jammed into a Spyro game. This does not control the best, even with reignited controls. So now we're just gonna catch all the lizards. Yeah, as you can tell, I mean, I'm glad they put it in the game because it is very fun. Does not control the best though. As you can probably tell from watching me. It's not like... Oh, we glitched off the corner there. That's a perfect example. I couldn't have done it better. Again, I don't know what these lizards did to the developers, but they... whenever, even in number 2, whenever they need like a target practice or something, they just use these lizards. They really hate them. Ah, here we go. Here's the Tony... Here's the Tony Hawk bit. Maybe if we just stay on this. Oh my god, we're getting some, like, ridiculous momentum now. Okay, we are actually running low on points. Although we did get a 2k one. So I just do enough. Yeah, like we're getting 1k. Ah, fuck me. So even though it's like kind of telling us that we're doing too many of these, I think we can just chain the big gulps. Okay, yeah, I deserve that. I think 5,900 is pretty good though, right? Yeah, we smashed it. Oh, and we don't get an egg for it, we just get a skill point. We didn't even have to do that. So we got both skill points in this level. But not all the gems though. Oh, I guess because there is mini games in this level that we can't quite do yet up there. So that'll be where we're missing the stuff. So we can't do that until we've unlocked Sheila, which we can do now. Let's go and free Sheila. Hey, free that Australian prisoner. Here we go, strap yourselves in.
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
That's good of you, mate. No hard feelings, eh?
Right. After all, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. I reckon you'd be one of them dragons then.
Yeah, name's Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know? Then all of a sudden you left. Poof.
Dragons used to live here?
Didn't you know? They say it was over 1,000 years ago, I think.
And they just left?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, after they left, all the magic in the world just sort of went with them. I mean, they say this world used to have magic coming out of the wazoo. Flying ships, singing forests, wishing stones, you name it. But when the dragons left, it all just dried up.
Is that why some of the portals don't work?
Yeah, they're starting to fade out too, one by one.
Wazoo.
I gotta get back home and do some damage control. Come visit anytime you like.
I turned it up a little bit so we could hear it as a family. So that's just not a one-off thing, by the way. We can play as Sheila, and there are Sheila levels and Sheila minigames throughout the whole game. I will say also Sheila, I think, is the least liked levels out of this.
Find out what that nasty sorceress has done to my home while I was locked up.
Hiya, Sheila. That you
Oh, this music.
Rhinox kicked us out of our houses. It's okay though.
Aboriginal music. You definitely heard a didgeridoo, that definitely happened. This music is classic though, this level. So we can kick as Sheila. Or we can do like a jump, double jump. And then we can pound, I think. I think that's all we can do. Doesn't this seem surreal to be happening? I don't think this is... I don't think this one's got didgeridoos in it, because I think it's supposed to be like Swiss Alps. Does she have green eyes? Oh, she does have green eyes. Oh. Oh. So, Sheila levels, you kind of have to be on the lookout for hidden stuff. Because the levels are a lot more like vertical than Spyro's. So like this over here. And also there's a lot of parts in Sheila levels that are like destructible walls. That me and Walt found out last time. The destructible walls, because of like the increased graphics, are slightly harder to see than they normally would be. That was a moose with a fedora on, if anybody was wondering. In hindsight, a lot of stereotypes. A lot of stereotypes happen in Spyro 3 because we obviously have Sheila the kangaroo, and then we came into like a Switzerland-themed level. And the only things we've fought so far are orcs with lederhosen on them, which isn't even the right country, and a moose with a fedora on it, a red fedora on it. And now, and a jumper on it. It's got like a little jumper as well. But you never piece these together when you're a kid. You're just like, oh, look, moose. That kangaroo has a funny accent, lol. I do hope that they haven't shoehorned Fortnite into this version like they did with number 2. If we rescue a little child dragon and they do the Fortnite dance, I think we might just quit. Yeah, so we have to stomp the mushrooms. I remember this one. This one, I will say, controlled like ass on PS1. And also, they never used to break like that. They always used to... You had to like bounce on them multiple times. Oh no, they did break like that. I'm thinking of another level further down the line. There's another escort level that you have to do as Sheila, and you have to like bounce on the mushrooms. I'm getting my things mixed up. Also, I want to say, this is our second level. Not only have we not died, we've not taken any damage so far. Nan! Is that a name? Oh, she got a little bow. 3-3, okay. That's all of those done. Hello, Sparks, you didn't do your job, man, and get the stuff for me, please. Is there any enemies down here? I mean, I think for sure there's a destructible wall in this level. I think it's back in that cave, but again, I cannot, for the life of me, find where it is. But because of the high res, where are you pointing me to? It all just kind of blends in together, which is nice. It just means that like the textures are higher quality. Oh, up here. All right, Hypnos, go sleep. I'm sorry I insulted your people before you slept. Well, technically, I didn't do it. The game did it. Oh, weird. I didn't know this cutscene played as soon as you'd, like, beaten 2 levels. I thought I had to go, like, further into the world.
Look out, Hunter. It's the scary sorceress.
I warned you already. This place isn't safe for small dragons and pussycats.
Huh? Thanks.
Huh?
I think we can look after ourselves.
Hunter, if anybody was wondering, still a dumbass in this one. Koala's on crack at best.
Come back when you finish witch school, okay? Say, is it just me, or is she kind of cute when she's angry?
Do you remember that line? It was creepy when I was a kid. Still creepy now. Still gives me bad vibes. Because we can go into this cave on the left. It's a little creepy. Yep, it is. As I say, it was creepy in 2000. It's still creepy in 2022. Yes, now we can go into the cabin on the left. And then there's a glide over here and an egg at the end. Again, not really much of a challenge, this one. It's just kind of like fly to the end. But to be fair, this is right after the tutorial for gliding.
Can you rescue her for me?
Sure. I got it, Mako. Mako, your eyes are kind of glazed over. Are you okay, man? You've been crying? Patience is a virtue. It is. Well, the thing is, like, if I was a game developer, I would feel like I can't win. You release it to... You don't release it early enough, and people will complain that it's taking too long, and then if you release it too early, people will complain that it's not done enough. Like, Cyberpunk is a good example of that. I just also hate the early access trend in general. Nothing good has ever come from early access. I'm definitely going to die here. I died in the most unceremonious way. You've played any Crash games? Yes, but not as much as... So Spyro is my favourite. Spyro the Dragon, the original one, is my favourite game of all time. But I class the first 3 Spyro games as just one game anyway. So I always say, like, the first 3 are my favourite games. Because I played them so much as a kid. I played Crash a lot as a kid, but I am absolutely trash at Crash. I tried playing the remastered version when it came out, and it just made me sad of how terrible a gamer I was.
Rhinox have shut down our cloud generator, and I may never see a rainbow again.
I think you'll be fine, kid. So this one, I think, has a minigame in it where we have to chase a little sun with sunglasses on back into a pauldron of hot lava. And I always like telling people the minigames in Spyro because they always sound like I'm just talking complete gibberish. They all sound like I'm having a mental breakdown and I'm trying to, like, explain how my day was going. God, I love Spyro music so much. I'm sure, like, my chat is so sick of hearing me say it. But God, I just love Spyro so much. This music is like my happy place. Yep, there goes the egg. I think we might just do this minigame and then we'll... Yeah, here it is. The sun with the glasses on.
Has gone out. We can make a new one with our lava fusion cauldron and 3 sun seeds.
So I think we just have to keep flaming him, if I remember. Because otherwise he's gonna, like, run out. The one thing I do wish they would have done with their Reignited trilogy is I wish they would have kept the old school titles. Rather than just having the new Reignited trilogy title card thing. I wish they kept the old titles from the old games. Alright, Mr. Gem right there. Yeah, so in like the old school titles, the Fireworks Factory level used to be on the title screen. Okay, so now we just need to put the bell towers on. Good start. Solid start. I swear I've played this before. I don't think there's a phase 2 of this one. Cloud is loving it.
Do you want this doodad?
And there's an egg thief. Actually, I will probably say that the egg thieves in general are just the most difficult. Because I guess they count as a minigame. They're not difficult, they're just like very long and annoying. Right. I love how they get born with glasses. Don't ask me how that works. They already have glasses on inside the egg. I just love, like, the sound design of these bells. They really said, like, how can we make this the most annoying sounding, like, ambient noise? We'll just have a bunch of bells with different pitches going at completely different times. I'll make it loud enough so you can hear it no matter where you are in the level. Really make the player feel like they have to leave immediately as soon as possible. Again, with the glasses. And with the rainbow magic. Nice. That's what we love to see. Nice simple one. Nice simple level. I mean, again, we are in tutorial land, so... I would feel very sad as a Spyro veteran if I could not complete the starting levels in record time.